Balduzzi
e da Grazia Serra.
Allora salutiamo tutti coloro che ci stanno seguendo in questo momento in streaming da tutto il mondo e chiaramente salutiamo anche voi che siete arrivati da tutto il mondo oggi qui in Vaticano.
Vi ringraziamo davvero di cuore per aver deciso di prendere parte a questa festa, a questo compleanno tondo. Io sono certa che
Declaration of Nostra Aetate, Vatican II's declaration on the relation of the Church with non-Christian
Un
religions.
sogno che compie 60 anni. È
The theme of
iniziato
this
il
evening's
28
ceremony
ottobre
is United in Dialogue,
1965 con la
committed to
dichiarazione
peace.
conciliare
Pope Leo will
Nostra
be
Aetate,
presiding at this evening's
approvata
event,
appunto dai
which will
padri
also
del
feature
Concilio
the
Vaticano
participation
II
of cardinals
e
and
promulgata
bishops
da Papa
involved in
Paolo VI,
interreligious dialogue,
e che ha
along with
cambiato
numerous
in modo
religious
significativo
exponents,
l'approccio del
representatives of various
cattolicesimo
world
nei
religions,
confronti dei
as well as
seguaci
the members
delle
of the
altre
diplomatic
tradizioni
corps
religiose. E ha
accredited
aperto, lo
to the
dobbiamo
Holy
dire,
See.
una strada nuova di
The ceremony
collaborazione,
will include
di
personal
amicizia e di
testimonies,
dialogo
videos
tra i
about
popoli.
Nostra
E
Aetate,
oggi,
cultural
60 anni
performances,
dopo, vogliamo
and
fare
meaningful
memoria
gestures
di
aimed at
tutto ciò che
ensuring
è
that the
stato,
message of
ma
Nostra
soprattutto
Aetate
vogliamo
continues
rinnovare
to
il
resound
nostro
in the
sì,
years to come.
affermare con forza che è
The
possibile
highlight of the
anche nel
evening's events will be
nostro
Pope Leo's
tempo
reflection on Nostra Aetate and the concluding silent prayer
amare
of all
e camminare
present
insieme con
at the
speranza.
invitation of our Holy Father.
Camminare insieme con speranza, è proprio questo
And as we
il
begin our
titolo di
broadcast, I would
questa
like to
serata
welcome
che ci
everyone
apprestiamo
joining
a
us
vivere.
through the various
E
Vatican
ogni
media channels,
cosa
the Vatican
in
audio or
quest'aula
radio
Paolo
app,
VI, anche in
the
questo
Vatican News
palco,
web
ci
portal,
parla proprio
or
di
our
speranza.
Vatican News
Adesso le
YouTube
vedrete,
channel,
guardate, alle nostre
as
spalle
well as through
c'è la
our
copia
partner stations, including
originale della
EWTN
nostra
TV,
Aetate,
Catholic Faith
proprio quella
Network in
firmata da
America,
Papa Montini,
Salt
pensate.
and Light TV,
Poi c'è la lampada di
Shalom World
Assisi che ha
TV,
illuminato
Ahmadarshan TV,
tanti
and
eventi e
Catholic
iniziative di
TV.
dialogo e di
A very
pace
warm
tra
welcome
le
to one and
religioni.
all.
C'è l'albero di
And
ulivo,
as you
che è
can
un
hear,
simbolo
the
di
broadcast
pace,
has just
e poi le
begun.
danze, i canti
Excuse me, the
e
program
le
has just begun,
testimonianze che
and
si
we will now
alterneranno
transfer
su
you
questo
over
palco.
to
Ma la
our
speranza più
translators.
grande è davanti a noi e siete voi, ognuno di voi.
Each one
Mentre
of
vi
you,
guardo da
as
quassù,
I
mi
look at you
convinco
from
che
up
camminare
here,
insieme
I'm convinced
non è
that
un
walking
auspicio,
together
non
is
è un
not a
desiderio,
wish, is
ma è
not
una
a
realtà
desire, but a
concreta,
concrete
perché voi
reality.
siete un segno
And this is
vivente di
because you are a
unità
living
e
sign
pace.
of unity
È proprio
and
così,
peace.
grazie, veramente. Quindi questo applauso che stava cominciando lo
Exactly,
possiamo
grazie. Well,
veramente
the
fare tutti
applause that
insieme.
was beginning to take shape, well,
E allora siamo
let's do it
pronti
together. So we
per
are
dare
ready
inizio a
to
questa
begin
serata
the
e lo
evening,
facciamo accogliendo il
and
corteo
we do
d'ingresso
so by
solenne
welcoming
dei
the
leader
solemn
religiosi,
entrance procession of religious
accompagnati dai
leaders,
ragazzi e dai bambini del
accompanied by
coro
the
delle dolci
children
note
of the
e dalla
choir
Kandyan
of the
Dance,
Dolce
che è una delle
Note
più
and the
antiche
Kandyan
forme di
Dance, one of
danza
the oldest
tradizionale dello
forms of
Sri Lanka.
traditional
Le sue
dance in
origini
Sri
risalgono
Lanka.
ai rituali
Its
legati al
origins date back
buddismo,
to
dove la
rituals
danza
linked to
veniva
Buddhism,
offerta
where
come
dance
atto
was
di
offered as
devozione
an
per
act of
portare
devotion
benedizione,
to bring
armonia
blessing,
e
harmony,
pace.
and
E
peace.
ogni gesto,
And every
ogni ritmo
gesture,
di tamburo
every
e ogni
drum
passo a
beat, and
piedi
every
nudi
barefoot
rappresentano
step
purezza,
represents purity,
rispetto e
respect,
connessione
and
spirituale
spiritual
tra
connection
corpo e
between
mente.
body and
La
mind.
danza sarà
The
interpretata
dance will be
dalla Sri
performed by
Ridhma
the
Dance
Sri
Academy,
Ridhma Dance
che porta
Academy,
con sé una particolarità
which has a
preziosa, perché
special
i suoi
feature.
ballerini
Its dancers
appartengono a diverse
belong to
religioni,
different
ma lo
religions,
vedrete che danzano
but they
insieme
dance
in
together
piena armonia,
in
perché sono
total
tutti
harmony. They are
animati
all
dall'amore e
animated
dal
by love
rispetto
and
verso questa
respect
antica
for this
tradizione. Li
ancient
vediamo
tradition.
già in fondo alla
We're
sala
going
che
to
sono
see
pronti.
them at
E
the back
allora
of the
con
room,
grande
ready
onore
to
accogliamo i
step on stage.
rappresentanti delle
So it
diverse
is with great honor that we welcome
religiose sulle
the
note della
representatives of
Kandyan
different
Dance.
religious traditions to the notes of the Kandyan dance.
i ballerini dello Sri Rhythm Dance Academy e i cantori del coro Le Dolci Note. Questo applauso è tutto per voi.
Allora, in questo momento in cui la trasmissione in streaming è iniziata, in cui siamo anche tutti seduti, abbiamo quasi preso posto, ci preme salutare e ringraziare i leader religiosi, le loro delegazioni che abbiamo l'onore di avere qui con noi questa sera.
Abbiamo tra noi
So we would like to welcome,
qui in sala questa sera, li elencheremo in ordine
we will list them
alfabetico,
all in
la
alphabetical order.
religione Baha'i,
The Baha'i
il
religion,
buddismo,
Buddhism,
la religione cattolica e le altre
Catholic
confessioni
religion,
cristiane.
and the other Christian denominations, Confucianism,
Il
Hebraism,
Jainismo,
Jainism,
l'Induismo,
Hinduism,
l'Islam.
Islam,
Il sikhismo, il
Sikhism,
taoismo,
Taoism,
le religioni tradizionali,
traditional
lo
religions,
zoroastraismo.
Zoroastrianism.
Siamo in tantissimi
So
questa sera
it's many
e
of us
proveniamo da
tonight,
oltre
and we come
50
from more than
paesi del
50
mondo,
countries
da
around the
ognuno dei
world,
5 continenti.
from each of the 5 continents.
Allora, del mondo cattolico diamo il benvenuto
So
alle
from the
diocesi presenti, le
Catholic world, we would
parrocchie,
like to welcome
gli
the
ordini
dioceses,
religiosi,
the
i
parishes, the
seminari,
religious
le
orders, seminaries,
associazioni e i movimenti,
associations and movements
le
that are
università
attending,
pontificie
the pontifical
e i collegi.
universities and
E
colleges.
salutiamo
And
infine i
finally,
superiori della Curia
we
Romana
greet
che sono
the superiors
presenti
of the
e
Roman
del
Curia
governatorato della
and
Santa Sede.
the governorate
Tra loro
of
ringraziamo
the
in modo
Holy See.
particolare, insieme ai
Governorate
loro
of the Holy
dicasteri,
See.
coloro
Among
che
them
hanno
we give
voluto
special thanks
fortemente che noi fossimo
to
qui
those who
questa
wanted
sera
us to be
per questo
here on
appuntamento
stage
di gioia e
for this
condivisione.
joyful
E allora li avete
event
visti
where
poco
we're
fa
going to
salire sul
share
palco, e quindi
joy
un applauso è
together.
tutto per loro. Il cardinale
Let us
George
welcome with a round of applause Cardinal George Jacob Kuvakad, Prefect of the Dicastery for
e il
Interreligious
cardinale
Dialogue,
Kurt Koch,
and Cardinal
prefetto
Kurt
del
Koch,
Dicastero
Prefect
per
of
la
the Dicastery for
promozione dell'unità
Promoting
dei
Christian
cristiani.
Unity.
Li salutiamo e diamo a loro la parola. Grazie.
So we
Grazie
welcome
mille.
you and we give the
Eminenza,
floor to
buonasera.
you.
Eminenza.
Prego.
Your Eminences, Your Excellencies, Venerable monks and nuns, representatives of different religious traditions, honored guests, dear friends. With profound joy, I extend a warm and respectful welcome to each and every one of you to this special celebration marking the 60th anniversary of the Second Vatican Council's declaration Nostra Aetate on the Church's relations with non-Christian religions. With folded hands, I invite you to join me in a threefold expression of gratitude. First, to God, the ultimate reality, who walks with us, who invites us to walk towards Him, and who helps us to walk together as brothers and sisters. Second, to the Council Fathers, who 60 years ago, attentive to the voice of the Holy Spirit, gave us this luminous declaration, the foundation and inspiration of interreligious dialogue. Third, to each of you here present, representing all those who, over the years, have taken part in this shared journey of encounter, fraternity, and friendship started by Nostra Aetate. Over these 6 decades, the spirit of Nostra Aetate has inspired an extraordinary pilgrimage of encounter and collaboration. We recall with deep gratitude the pontiffs from Saint John XXIII to Pope Francis, who have carried this mission forward with wisdom and courage. The local churches that have cultivated dialogue with dedication and fidelity. The many men and women from different religious traditions who have generously joined the Catholic Church in promoting mutual understanding, and the numerous friends and collaborators of this dicastery who with generosity and prophetic vision have tended and nurtured the sapling of dialogue so that it may grow strong and bear abundant fruit. We owe immense gratitude to His Holiness Pope Leo XIV, who has embraced this demanding legacy with courage, discernment, and foresight, and whose inspiring voice we shall soon hear this evening. I also wish to express my heartfelt thanks to all those who, in various ways, have contributed to the realization of this event. Your generosity is highly appreciated. Finally, I turn to you, dear friends gathered here today. Your presence is itself a living testimony to the journey shaped by Nostra Aetate, and it perfectly echoes the words of Pope Leo XIV. I quote, "Where others have shown distrust, we chose trust. Where others might foster fear, we strove for understanding. Where others view differences as barriers, we recognize them as avenues for mutual enrichment." This evening's program, with its testimonies, reflections, and cultural expressions, offers in miniature a vivid image of the richness, diversity, and vitality of interreligious dialogue as it is observed in various contexts. May the unity of the human family, so powerfully affirmed in Nostra Aetate, continue to inspire us in our ongoing pursuit for peace, reconciliation, and harmony for generations to come. Thank you for walking and working together with us. In these difficult times, let us continue to journey together. We look forward to see you all again on 27th October next year to commemorate the 40th anniversary of the Assisi Prayer for Peace. Hearty welcome and thank you.
Eminences, Excellencies, dear brothers and sisters. The fourth section of the Declaration Nostra Aetate is dedicated to the relationship between the Catholic Church and the Jewish people. I would therefore like to extend a particular warm welcome to all representatives of Jewish institutions and members of the Jewish religion. Historically, the fourth section marks the beginning of the drafting of Nostra Aetate and may even have been prompted, at least in part, by a Jewish initiative. On the occasion of the meeting between Jules Isaac and Pope John XXIII on 13 June 1960, the Jewish historian presented the Pope with a memorandum urgently calling for a new view of the Church relationship with Judaism. Pope John XXIII took up this request and commissioned the drafting of a declaration which, after a long development process, resulted in Nostra Aetate. Article 4 is characterized above all by the two fundamental perspectives. First, it emphasizes the Jewish roots of the Christian faith while expressing a clear and binding affirmation of the common spiritual heritage of Jews and Christians. The Catholic Church is abhor that it received the revelation of the Old Testament through the people with whom God, in his infinite mercy, made the Old Covenant. Conscious of this continuity, the Church understands the New Covenant not as a replacement, but as the fulfillment of the Old Covenant. This foundation of the Catholic Church's new relationship with the Jewish people in the history of salvation is also be understood as the Church's positive response to the catastrophe of the Shoah, the mass murder of European Jews, planned and carried out with industrial perfection by the Nationalsozialists, and to the question of Christian complicity in these horrific events. Just as Nostra Aetate clearly affirms the common heritage of Jews and Christians, it also rejects all form of anti-Semitism, not simply for political reasons, but driven by the religious love of the gospel. The declaration Nostra Aetate condemns all reprehensible anti-Semitic behavior, more precisely all outbursts of hatred, persecutions and manifestation of anti-Semitism directed against Jews at any time and by anyone. A look at today's words, in which an alarming increase in anti-Semitic tendencies must be noted, shows how relevant Nostra Aetate remains today too. Both the categorical rejection of all form of anti-Semitism and the binding affirmation of our common spiritual heritage demonstrate that the Catholic Church has a special and unique relationship with the Jewish religion. This is already evident in the fundamental sentence in the introduction. I quote, "In reflection on the mystery of the Church, the Holy Synod recalls the bond by which the people of the New Covenant are spiritually linked to the tribe of Abraham. This means that the Catholic Church's relationship with the covenant people of Israel is part of its inner self-understanding, so that the Church cannot understand itself without reference to Judaism. Because of this inner closeness, theological dialogue between Jews and Christians remains important and is very close to Pope Leo XIII's heart, as he explained in his meeting with representatives of other Christian churches and religions after the celebration of his inauguration as Bishop of Rome and successor to Peter. I quote, "Even in these difficult times, marked by conflict and misunderstanding, it is necessary to continue this valuable dialogue with vigor." Nostra Aetate commits us to such mutual knowledge and appreciation by recalling the common spiritual heritage of Jews and Christians. Nostra Aetate is and remains the common compass of Christian-Jewish relations. Thank you.
Grazie, ringraziamo di cuore Sua Eminenza il Cardinal Koch e il Cardinale Kuvakad per le parole che hanno voluto condividere con noi. Facciamo ancora un applauso per loro. E permettetemi anche di dire grazie per il lavoro
please allow me to say yes for their work they did with their dicasteries to allow for all of us to be here today. Thank you again.
In apertura parlavamo dell'importanza di fare memoria.
When opening, we remember the importance of making memory, and we go in this direction now. Making memory is not only remembering, but it is especially becoming aware of the work that God brings ahead in the life of each of us and in the life of our peoples.
Anche in mezzo alle tempeste.
Even amidst the tempest, and we can say especially amidst the tempest. In 6 years, how many dark moments we have lived, how many wars, some are still in progress, so much ruins, falls. But today we are here in this big hall, each one with their religious belief, and still with a desire to bet on dialogue and on peace. So with the help of the dicastery of Interreligious Dialogue, we see the story of 60 years of interreligious dialogue, starting from the Council document Nostra Aetate, 60 years of gestures, words, meetings and facts that can generate future.
On the 28th of October 1965, the Second Vatican Ecumenical Council approved the declaration Nostra Aetate, a milestone in interreligious dialogue. Since then, the Catholic Church has traced a path of encounter and understanding among peoples, cultures, and faiths. It marked the beginning of a long journey, shaped by the gestures and words of the popes, who gave tangible form to dialogue. In 1986, John Paul II visited the Synagogue of Rome.
L'odierna visita vuole recare un deciso contributo al consolidamento dei buoni rapporti tra le nostre due comunità, sulla scia degli esempi offerti da tanti uomini e donne che si sono impegnati e si impegnano tuttora dall'una e dall'altra parte, perché siano superati i vecchi pregiudizi.
A few months later, on the 27th of October 1986, John Paul II gathered representatives of the world's religions to pray for peace in Assisi.
If there are many and important differences among us, there is also a common ground whence to operate together in the solution of this dramatic challenge of our age. True peace or catastrophic war. The challenge of peace, as it is presently posed to every human conscience, is the problem of a reasonable quality of life for all, the problem of survival for humanity, the problem of life and death.
In 2001, John Paul II entered the Umayyad Mosque in Damascus.
As members of the one human family and as believers, we have obligations to the common good, to justice and to solidarity. Interreligious dialogue will lead to many forms of cooperation, especially in responding to the duty to care for the poor and the weak. These are the signs that our worship of God is genuine.
In 2011, Benedict XVI returned to Assisi, where he called for reflection on the relationship between faith and peace.
L'assenza di Dio porta al decadimento dell'uomo e dell'umanesimo. Ma dov'è Dio? Lo conosciamo e possiamo mostrarlo nuovamente all'umanità per fondare una vera pace. Si tratta piuttosto del ritrovarsi insieme in questo essere in cammino verso la verità, dell'impegno deciso per la dignità dell'uomo e del farsi carico insieme della causa della pace contro ogni specie di violenza distruttrice del diritto.
On the 4th of February 2019, Pope Francis signed the document on human fraternity with the Grand Imam of Al-Azhar in Abu Dhabi.
Non si può onorare il Creatore senza custodire la sacralità di ogni persona e di ogni vita umana. Ciascuno è ugualmente prezioso agli occhi di Dio, perché Egli non guarda la famiglia umana con uno sguardo di preferenza che esclude, ma con uno sguardo di
benevolent gaze that includes.
Pertanto,
Thus, to recognize the same rights for every human being is to glorify the name of God on earth.
2 years later, on the 6th of March 2021, in Ur of the Chaldeans, in the heart of ancient Mesopotamia, Pope Francis prayed with representatives of the Abrahamic religions.
Guardiamo il cielo.
We look up to heaven. If we want to preserve fraternity, we must not lose sight of heaven. May we, the descendants of Abraham and the representatives of different religions, sense that above all we have this role to help our brothers and sisters to raise their eyes and prayers to heaven.
On the 3rd of September 2023 in Mongolia, Pope Francis renewed his appeal for universal fraternity.
Fratelli e sorelle,
brothers and sisters, the social significance
of
our religious traditions can be gauged by the extent to which we are capable of living in harmony with other pilgrims on this earth, and can foster that harmony in the places where we live. For every human individual, and even more, every religion must be measured by the standard of altruism. Not altruism in the abstract, but in the concrete. An altruism that translates into concern for others.
"60 years after Nostra Aetate, the voice of the Council continues to resonate. In a world still marked by divisions, the Church reaffirms its mission of dialogue and fraternity, and believers are ever more aware of their calling to be witnesses of peace and fraternity."
Allora, forti anche di questa storia,
along the lines of this history, let's make a journey. Make a journey to Indonesia. Because from the depth of the Indonesian history and its many forms of spirituality and worship of the only God Almighty, several artistic and cultural expressions have emerged in religious communities to praise the only God and to promote harmony between Indonesian peoples despite their well-known differences.
Tri-Apsari. I tre esseri celesti danzanti, è un insieme di tre coreografie di danza tradizionale. Rei Dewa
Rayan Dewa from Bali, that represents Hinduism.
Bedayan
Satyamataya from Java, that represents Catholicism.
Zapin
And Zapin Awal Bismillah from Sumatra, that represents Islam.
Un progetto molto creativo
che vuole
risaltare la coesistenza pacifica delle sei principali religioni dell'Indonesia. E a interpretarlo sono le danzatrici della Kebaya
Menari dancers will interpret this beautiful dance. is possible, as demonstrated by the grace and beauty of the Kibaya Menari dancers, whom we thank once again. And as announced,
E questo ce lo annuncia anche il
as announced by our next guest, whom we are honored to welcome.
Nonostante la guerra nel suo
Despite the war in
paese
his country,
gli abbia portato via
which
il
took away
padre,
his father,
la
mother,
madre,
and
la sorella, quando
sister,
aveva appena
when he
4
was
anni,
just a 4-year-old boy, so
ha
just a
trascorso
child.
l'intera sua
He
esistenza a
spent his entire
ricercare
life
e a
seeking
costruire
and building
artigianalmente la pace.
peace by
E ha
hand,
fatto della pace
and has made
e
peace
dell'amore per la
and
terra
love for
una
the
missione
earth
di vita.
his life's mission.
Lui è il maestro
He is
Shin
Master
Tao,
Shin
monaco
Tao,
buddista
a
taiwanese
Taiwanese
di origine
Buddhist
birmana,
monk of
abate
Burmese
del
origin,
monte Ling
abbot
Yu
of
e
Mount Ling
fondatore
Yu,
del
and
Museo
founder
delle
of the
religioni
Museum
del
of World
mondo.
Religions.
Non poteva
He was
essere qui
unable to be here
fisicamente
with
con
us
noi
this
questa
evening,
sera, ma ha
but he
voluto
still
comunque
wanted to be
esserci e
here
dare la sua
and give his
testimonianza
testimony
attraverso questo
through
video
this
che vi invitiamo a
video,
seguire.
which we invite you to watch.
尊敬的教宗，各位宗教领袖代表，大家吉祥平安。感
Peace
谢
and blessings to you all. I thank the Holy See
让我
for
在此
inviting me
分
to
享
share
推动
my
宗教
experience
交流的
in
经验。
promoting interreligious
这
dialogue.
份邀约也代表着
This invitation also
宗教间
stands
和
as
谐友好的
example
建
to
立
interfaith harmony and
在
friendship.
战乱下出生的童年，
Born at a time of war, I came to understand that war brings only the agony of shattered homes and lost lives. Therefore, peace has become my lifelong
要
mission
努力的
that
守
I'm
护
striving
自
hard
由。
to protect.
我曾经踏
I
上
once set
饱受
foot
战火
in war-torn
摧
Bosnia.
残的波斯尼亚。当记者
A local reporter asked me doubtfully,
世界
is
真
there
的
truly
有
such a
和
thing
平？
as peace in the world?
我坚定
I
地
answered firmly,
回答：只要心
when
和
the
平，
heart is at peace, the
世界
world
就
will be at peace.
我深信
I strongly
唯有
believe
倾
that
听
conflicts can
与
only
理
be
解，并
resolved
且成为
through
真
listening
了
and
解
understanding
好的友谊，才能化解冲突。
and fostering friendships. This embodies the founding spirit of the Museum of World Religions.
用
To
尊重
advance interfaith dialogue and cooperation
信念来推动
through the principles of
宗教
respect,
间的
tolerance,
对话与
and
合作，让彼此
universal
成
love
为和
so
平
that
的养分。
interfaith bonds can nourish
9/11
peace.
事件的
The
发生
9/11 attacks
凸显出
highlighted the
宗教的
crisis
冲突
created by
所
religious
产生的危
conflict.
机。于是我
And
在
so I
世界各地
initiated a
展
series
开
of Buddhist
回
Muslim
佛
dialogues across the
透
globe
过
in order
对
to
话
help
交
religions
流，
recognize each
让
other's
宗教
inherent
间
truth, goodness,
看
and
见
beauty
彼
through
此的
dialogue
真
and
美。
exchange.
我坚信
I firmly
宗教
believe
的
that
使
the
命
mission of
是
religions
用
is to resolve
爱
differences
与
through loving
行动
action
来化解分歧，守护
and to
生命。
protect life and the entire
现在
earth.
我们
Today,
生
this
存
earth
的
of ours
地
that we
球
live in
已经出
is
现
facing a
了危
crisis.
机。面对
Facing an
生态
ecological
浩劫，
catastrophe,
宗教
the
界
community of
应当
religions
携手
should
合
join
作。
hands in
正
cooperation,
如
following in the
前
steps of Pope
教宗方
Francis,
济各在
who, before COP26, had
26
promoted
之后
interfaith
推动跨宗教、跨领域
and
的对话，
interdisciplinary dialogue
用政治、
concerning
经济、
politics,
科技
economics, technology,
与
and
生态
ecology,
连结，以灵
and
性
uniting these
凝
diverse
聚
forces
各
through
方力量。
spirituality.
而
I advocate
我
the
提
principle
倡灵性
of
即生态，
spirituality is
生
ecology,
态
and
即
ecology is
理性的
spirituality.
理念，让我们
This
从
allows
灵
us
性
to see the
看到
mutual
人
relations
类
between humanity and
与
nature from a
自然
spiritual
的
perspective,
相互关系，觉醒
to
对生
awaken,
命的
respect, and
尊
embrace
重
all
与包容，
life,
成就
and to
分
create
享
a
的
world
世
of
界。
sharing.
生态和谐
Ecological harmony
与
and
宗
peace are
教
one and the same.
是一体的。唯有
Only by
放下
letting go
私
of
心，
selfishness
认知
and
彼
recognizing
此
that we are
是
one
生
body
命
of
共同
life,
才能
will
转
we be
化
able to
危机，
transform and
走
overcome the
向
crisis
永
and move
续
towards
的
a
未来。
sustainable future.
爱地球，
Loving
爱
the earth and loving peace
是我一
is my
生的使
lifelong
命。
mission.
现在
The
我
University
在
for
缅
Life
甸
and
筹
Peace
备的生命
that
和
I am in
平
the
大
process of establishing in
用
Myanmar
教育
aims
来
to cultivate
培养
seeds of
灵性
spirituality through education,
让大家一起
all to
守
work
护
together to
生态，
protect our
消
ecosystem,
弭
to
对
eliminate
立，
conflicts and
创
foster
造和
peace.
平。只有生态永续，
Humanity
人
can
类
only
才
survive
能
if the
永续。
ecosystem is sustainable.
最后，
Finally, I extend my
教
sincere
宗
greetings
以及各位宗教领袖，
To the Holy Father and to all religious leaders, May all beings be filled with love and wisdom in their spiritual journey, so that ecological sustainability, peace among all people, and the well-being of the earth may be realized.
We would like to thank Master Xin Tao, and we hope that our embrace and our thanks will cross borders and reach him. Thank you again. Now, it is time to witness a new cultural performance entitled In the Heart of the Right, The Beat of Dialogue. The performance harmoniously combines a traditional religious song with a poem written for the occasion by Filomeno Lopez, a journalist from Vatican Radio, originally from Guinea-Bissau. The song rises like an invocation to the Supreme God, God of the ancestors, asking for love and peace for the world, so that returning to its spiritual roots, humanity may shine inwardly with the support of the religious sense of its origins. The poem, on the other hand, gives voice to the cry of Mother Lucy, African and universal mother, who contemplates the suffering, violence and death that afflict her sons and daughters. It is a heartfelt appeal to recognize one's roots, to break the cycle of destruction, and to rebuild life, peace and love on earth with the help of the divine and the ancestors. Let's listen.
che era la vita, lettera di amore di Dio, scritta sul grembo di Mammy Lucy e inviata alla sua amata madre Terra, per il significare il trionfo della vita sulla morte. Miei cari antenati, sento la vostra voce che dice: noi siamo il tuo ieri e parenti del tuo domani nell'oggi. Onore e gloria poi.
Ora la vita dei miei figli e figlie è minacciata. La mia è la vita di una madre che è andata al cimitero per seppellire i suoi figli e le sue figlie minacciate dalla cultura di morte divenuta sistema mondo. Poi scopre che non è più capace di uscire dal cimitero perché ogni volta che arriva alla porta del cimitero trova altre mamme che incessantemente arrivano con i loro figli e figlie da seppellire e lei, per solidarietà primordiale, torna dentro il cimitero per piangere i nuovi morti arrivati. Dio mio, cari antenati, che cosa dobbiamo fare noi figli e figlie di Mamma Lucy per permettere alle nostre mamme di uscire definitivamente dal cimitero?
La pace comincia da ognuno di noi.
Peace starts with each of us, the way we look at others, listen to others, talk about others. Let us disarm our words, and we will help to disarm the earth. A few days after his election, Pope Leo XIV made this heartfelt appeal to the media representatives gathered in Rome for the conclave, and the testimony we are about to hear on stage confirms that this is not a utopian idea, but a possible reality, even in the Holy Land. So she is Sarah Bernstein, a Jew of Anglo-Saxon origin. She lives in Jerusalem, where she is executive director of the Rossin Center for Education and Dialogue, a leading organization in the field of education and interreligious encounter, with a diverse staff composed of Jews, Christians, and Muslims, which involves over 10,000 people in their activities every year, and has worked tirelessly even during the war of the past few years, with one great mission: to heal hatred. Sarah Bernstein.
Shalom, salam, good evening. It was my first day at university. I walked into my room and immediately saw a crucifix my roommate had hung on the wall. I was horrified. Here I was, a 19-year-old Jewish girl, and I had to sleep in a room with a crucifix? I considered changing rooms. I called my mother, who said, "You'll be fine." And so I took a deep breath and got to know Caroline, a devout Catholic. Our friendship overcame my fears. Dialogue begins with relationship, but I've seen that the connections that survive times of crisis are those built on honest conversations, however hard. The work is to address our most sensitive and instinctive reactions, like the threat I felt when I saw that crucifix. Nostra Aetate was a brave, revolutionary call to struggle with deeply held negative beliefs about other faiths. As a Jew, I am profoundly grateful for it. The interreligious challenges sometimes feel overwhelming, but Nostra Aetate taught us that dialogue must work through the burning realities of our day, even if we might prefer to avoid them. In Israel-Palestine, that means we have to address our national differences as well as religious. Nostra Aetate emphasized the Jewish background of Jesus, Mary, and the Apostles. For many Palestinian Christians today, the Jew is the Israeli soldier who stops and searches them at a checkpoint. Context is everything. Since October 7th, despair has been an ever-present temptation. I've felt profound grief for those killed and taken hostage, anguish at the devastation in Gaza, and shame at the moral blindness within my society. I'm immensely troubled by the rise in Jewish extremist attacks on Christians and Muslims and their religious sites. They betray the foundations of who we are as Jews. They are wrong. I'm also dismayed about the global rise in anti-Semitism and Islamophobia. The task of Nostra Aetate is not yet completed. At the Rossing Center for Education and Dialogue, our Jewish, Christian, and Muslim team brings Israelis and Palestinians together to listen, learn, and heal. Even during this terrible war, our healing hatred methodology, rooted in tools of spiritual counseling, has helped us sustain dialogue when in so many places in the world it has broken down. In the spirit of Nostra Aetate, we face up to the deeply held beliefs that divide us. Each training course, whether for religious leaders or educators, each workshop where adults or children are taught to respect rather than hate, each expression of empathy, these practical acts change our reality. As one participant said, you can Google Christmas, but you can't Google making friends with your enemy. The Palestinian intellectual Edward Said taught, where cruelty and injustice are concerned, hopelessness is submission. To give up would be to collude with the darkness. We must resist despair. We must insist on hope as a moral imperative. Hope is not only a feeling, it is a series of actions, a conscious daily decision to keep working for change even when the odds seem impossible. For me, as an Israeli Jew in 2025, that is the lesson of Nostra Aetate.
Grazie, Sara.
Thank you, Sarah, for the hope you have instilled in us through your words. And now, with the next cultural performance, we're going to stay in the same geographical area. They are the Nefesh Trio, an Italian group that for several years has promoted Judaic music, openness between peoples and cultures, but it's also characterized by a deep spirituality, along with the great joy of experiencing the here and the now. So their performance starts with a melody written by Noah, the most renowned musician of our time, whose origins are linked to the 1,000-year story of the Yemeni Jews. So the trio has decided to sing Dero Hikra, a typical song of Shabbat, very popular in the Jewish world. With this song, the trio wants to pay tribute to the courage and the constant commitment of Noah to start a dialogue for peace in the Middle East. Daniele Davide Parziani on violin, Manuel Buda on guitar, Davide Tedesco on double bass. The Nefesh Trio.
Grazie.
Thank you. An applause once again for the Nefesh Trio.
Grazie davvero e
Thank you, truly.
Ad accogliere su questo palco.
Let's get ready to welcome on the stage another cultural performance. A performance in the performance to say that the world together as one is possible, accompanied by their creative manager, Dr. Snjana Joan. The performers are Julia Vantur, a Romanian artist, Vijay Yesudas, an Indian performer, Stephen Devasi, keyboards, composers, and Jason Boy Budia, a US artist of international stature. This is We Are the New World.
ജാതിഭേദം മതദ്വേഷം ഏതുമില്ലാതെ സർവരും സോദരത്വേന വാഴുന്ന മാതൃകാ സ്വന്തമായൊന്നുമില്ല സർവ്വതും നിന്ദാനം സ്വസ്ഥമായുറങ്ങിടാൻ സമ്പത്തിൽ മയങ്ങാതെ മണ്ണിൻ സൗഭാഗ്യം നേടാനായാലും ആത്മം നഷ്ടമായാൽ ഫലമെവിടെ ദൈവസ്നേഹം വർണ്ണിച്ചിടാൻ വാക്കുകൾ പോരാ നന്ദി ചൊല്ലി തീർക്കുവാനീ ജീവിതം പോരാ കഷ്ടപ്പാടിൻ കാലങ്ങളിൽ രക്ഷിക്കുന്ന ജീവിതം പോരാ
La Bethlehem colonjos, celular de luminos, procurata naște astăzi pe Hristos. Nu mai plânge, Maica mea, nu mai plânge, Maica mea, nu mai plânge, Maica mea, scutecele noi ți-om da, prea curata pentru pruncul de împărat. Vine Crăciunul pe seară, corinde, corinde, dintr-o țară în altă țară, corinde, corinde. Se aud colindători din nou la poartă, corinde, 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 corinde.
Gotta keep doing, doing, doing. Give yourself another try. Gotta keep doing, doing, doing. Put it all on the line. Oh, nothing's impossible. See what the words say in between the lines. It reads impossible, so contradictive. Open your eyes. This is the darkest moments. Gotta focus on the light. Who you can be the miracle in the world that puts up a fight. Gotta keep doing, doing, doing. Give yourself another try. Gotta keep doing, doing, doing. Put it all on the line. Oh, sky the limit, gonna outer space with it. So high. Gotta keep doing, doing, doing. Doing. We are the new world. Oh, the new world. We are the new world. Oh, the new world.
वयमोऽस्मि वयं नूतनं जगत्स्मान् हम एक साथ मजबूत हैं नाम पुदुलगम
Copii să viitorul, spune-le că sunt motorul. Doar eu acum puterea să-și sufletul tău.
When I can change, then you can change. When you can change, the world will change.
We are one human family. We are blood brothers and blood sisters.
At Bisleri, we cherish water as the essence of life.
We are here for unity, humanity, sustainability, walking together in faith. We are the new world.
Gotta keep doing, doing, doing. Give yourself another try. Gotta keep doing, doing, doing. Put it all on the line. Whoa.
Grazie.
No.
Io vado dalla destra del palco.
Da destra al centro del palco.
Okay.
Come sei?
Devo tagliare anche io?
Tanto era la mia la lunga. Vai. Ok.
Questa è una serata di grande consolazione. Spesso nelle nostre case, pensando alle guerre lontane, alle guerre vicine che insanguinano il mondo, siamo assaliti da un grande senso di impotenza. Ci domandiamo: che cosa posso fare io? Ecco, oggi la risposta di tanti seminatori di pace che
From so many sowers of peace who in every corner of the world put their talents at the service of good, creating places of relationship and friendship.
E amicizia, parlavi di questo.
Relationships, friendships. These are the elements that are part of the next story we're going to tell you about. Everything starts with Pope Francis's visit to Marseille in September 2023 and his appeal to restore the Mare Nostrum, our sea, which had become the Mare Mortum, the dead sea due to wars and the tragedy of migration. On that occasion, a group of young people took up this mandate and set sail, literally. Since the 1st of March this year, they have been sailing aboard the Bel Espoir, a training ship promoted as part of the Med25 project by the Diocese of Marseille, the Bel Espoir Aid Association and the Mariana Association. 8 groups of 25 young people of all nationalities, cultures and religions together on an 8-month pilgrimage that ended last Sunday, committed themselves to daily dialogue to build peace and make the Mediterranean a sea of goodness. Let us listen to their testimony of courage and hope.
Terra Santa all'Ucraina.
From the Holy Land to Ukraine, from Lebanon to Syria, from the Middle East to Tigray and the Caucasus, there resounds an appeal. The peoples of our world desire peace. Let us meet, let us talk, let us negotiate. War is never inevitable.
Vi prego.
Please, let us strive for this.
Noi, la nuova
We, the new generation,
dalle 5 coste
from
del
the 5 shores of the Mediterranean, we have responded to your call.
Da marzo a ottobre
From
2025
March to October 2025, we sailed the Mediterranean.
abbiamo percorso
We
più
traveled more than 8,000 nautical miles
durante 4 stagioni,
over 4 seasons,
da una costa
from
all'altra,
one shore to another,
da un porto
from
all'altro.
one port to another.
Non parliamo la stessa
We
lingua,
don't speak the same language.
proveniamo da
We
culture
come from diverse cultures and religious backgrounds.
diversi. Ma il
But the
Mediterraneo,
Mediterranean is our shared sea,
una culla di
a
vita,
cradle of life where we want to build fraternity.
a bordo della
On
Belle
board the Bel Espoir, we sailed together.
insieme,
Together we felt cold,
la fatica,
fatigue, and seasickness.
abbiamo condiviso le nostre
We
gioie
shared our joys
e le nostre
and our differences.
ascoltandoci a
By
vicenda.
listening to one another, we have experienced that there can be unity without uniformity.
Durante gli scali,
During our stopovers, we met men and women
che
who
promuovono
promote justice every day.
che lavorano
who work tirelessly for peace and freedom.
Abbiamo visitato
We
luoghi
visited places of worship and met believers of all religions.
testimoniamo
We
che
testify that each one reflects a ray of truth
illumina
that
tutta
illuminates all of humanity.
insieme.
Together we prayed.
We're sailing into the sunset.
Oggi siamo tornati.
Today we returned home.
La vita ha ripreso,
Life has resumed its normal course,
ma i nostri
but our
cuori
hearts have been transformed.
trasformati. Beati,
Blessed are the peacemakers.
Vosotros sois
You are the salt of the earth, light of the world, and the world needs messages of hope.
Ustedes son
You are that message.
e noi,
We, the young people of the Mediterranean,
continueremo a
will
vivere
continue to live and act
come
as
pellegrini
pilgrims
di
of hope.
speranza.
Ringraziamo
We thank the young people of the Bel Espoir. I know that some of them are here in this room, so we would like to thank them again. And thank you also to Cardinal Jean-Marc Aveline, Archbishop of Marseille, who's here in the hall, and who strongly supported this initiative. Thank you.
Allora l'emozione in questo momento sta salendo.
So our excitement is growing. You can see the chair that's being prepared. We are approaching the meeting with the Holy Father, Pope Leo XIV, who will enter this hall in a few minutes.
Terminato il suo intervento,
And after his contribution, we will gather all together in a moment of silent prayer for peace. But first, we would like to give you a gift. The religious leaders will receive it now from the children, while each of you will find it at the end of the event as you leave the hall. It is a small bag of seeds, a sign of our commitment to be sowers of dialogue and understanding. 60 years ago, in fact, the Church planted a seed of hope through Nostra Aetate, the seed of dialogue, friendship and respect between peoples and religions. Over the years, that seed has grown and borne much fruit, but our mission continues. It's not enough yet. We are called to continue sowing the seeds of dialogue and hope, to care for the trees that have already grown, to replant where dialogue has withered, and to cultivate new saplings of understanding. May these seeds remind us that dialogue and hope must be cultivated continuously, and that together we can help them flourish, especially by encouraging young people to become sowers of dialogue for the future. May these seeds be a sign of our common journey, walking together in hope. So they have shared the stage with us all evening, and now we see them standing, ready to let us hear their voices. The choir Le Dolci Nodi, led by the maestro and founder Alessandro Bellomaria. Good evening, Alessandro.
Buonasera Alessandro, questo applauso è
So this applause is for you, for all the kids that are part of the choir. Well, tell us something about yourselves. How and when was this choir founded? Well, it was born in the San Barnaba parish priest, just 10 kids that were singing during service, and something bigger. Now it's 80 of them. And over the past 10 years, many have come and gone. So we have involved 200 kids. 200 kids. I'm curious. I would like to talk to them because you are the protagonists. So what's your name, may I ask you?
Marilena.
Marilena. How old are you? I'm 12. Well, congrats. And who are you? Allegra. You are really beautiful. How old are you? I'm 11. I'm Ariella and I'm 8 years old. For how long have you been singing in this choir? Are you thinking about it? So it's many years. So another applause for her. Well, congratulations to all of you, because you are beautiful. Alessandro, you know these faces very well. These are pure faces, beautiful faces. What have they given you over the past 10 years? Well, they've changed my life. And what satisfies me the most is the fact that you don't teach music, singing, but you teach about life. So through music, we teach values, inclusion, friendship, living together. So this is the best thing that I've learned from them. So perfectly in tune with what we are celebrating here today, friendship, relationships. Now, a beautiful prayer, and that we're going to perform the Magnificat. Waiting for the Holy Father. It's not the traditional Magnificat, but it's beautiful version. So we're very curious to listen to your choir. Please.
reminder, you're listening to Vatican Radio's live broadcast of the 60th anniversary celebration of Nostra Aetate with the theme Walking Together in Hope. We're now about to see our Holy Father, who's expected to arrive momentarily.
It's written on the wall that tell us we are enemies, but I see it differently, so differently. Yeah, I believe we are one family, all people, different faces of the same humanity, and we can choose the way of peace, the way of peace. We're gonna rise up, we're a million different colors dancing to the beat. Rise up, we're a million voices singing as one. We choose peace, oh eh oh, hey, we choose peace, oh eh oh, hey, hey, oh. In the name all of
And with the round of applause for those of you listening in on Vatican Radio's radio coverage of this 60th anniversary celebration of Nostra Aetate, you can hear the Holy Father Pope Leo XIV has just arrived in the Paul VI Hall, where a very enthusiastic crowd is awaiting his reflections on the Second Vatican Council's declaration on interreligious dialogue.
Respected heads and representatives of world religions, distinguished members of the diplomatic corps accredited to the Holy See, dear brothers and sisters, peace be with you. It is with joy and deep gratitude that I extend my cordial greetings and express my sincere thanks for your presence at this commemoration of the groundbreaking document Nostra Aetate. The theme of this evening's gathering is Walking Together in Hope. 60 years ago, a seed of hope for interreligious dialogue was planted. Today, your presence bears witness that this seed has grown into a mighty tree, its branches reaching far and wide, offering shelter and bearing the rich fruits of understanding, friendship, cooperation, and peace. For 60 years, men and women have labored to bring Nostra Aetate to life. They watered the seed, tended the soil, and protected it. Some even gave their lives, martyrs for dialogue, who stood against violence and hatred. Today, let us remember them with gratitude. As Christians, together with our brothers and sisters of other religions, we are who we are because of their courage, their sweat, and their sacrifice. In this regard, I sincerely thank you for your collaboration with the Dicastery for Interreligious Dialogue, the Commission for Religious Relations with the Jews at the Dicastery for Promoting Christian Unity, and with the Catholic Church in your home countries. Thank you for accepting our invitation and for gracing this occasion with your presence. My dear brothers and sisters, your friendship and esteem for the Catholic Church shone forth in a special way at the time of Pope Francis' final illness and death, through the heartfelt messages of condolence you sent, the prayers offered in your countries, and the presence of those who were able to attend his funeral. That same friendship shone again through your congratulatory messages upon my election as Pope, the inaugural Mass. All these gestures testify to the deep and lasting bond we share, a bond I cherish profoundly. If the Nostra Aetate Declaration has nourished the ties between us, I am convinced that its message remains highly relevant today. Let us then take a moment to reflect on some of its most significant teachings. First, Nostra Aetate reminds us that humanity is drawing closer together, and that it is the task of the Church to promote unity and love among men and women and among nations. Second, it points to what we all share in common. We belong to one human family, one in origin and one also in our final goal. Moreover, every person seeks answers to the great riddles of the human condition. Third, religions everywhere try to respond to the restlessness of the human heart. Each, in its own way, offers teachings, ways of life, and sacred rites that help guide their followers toward peace and meaning. Fourth, the Catholic Church rejects nothing that is true and holy in these religions, which reflect a ray of that truth which enlightens all people. She regards them with sincere reverence and invites her sons and daughters, through dialogue and collaboration, to recognize, preserve, and promote what is spiritually, morally, and culturally good in all peoples. Finally, we must not forget how Nostra Aetate actually developed. Initially, Pope John XXIII commissioned Cardinal Agustin Beat to present a treatise to the Council describing a new relationship between the Catholic Church and Judaism. We can say, therefore, that the fourth chapter, dedicated to Judaism, is the heart and generative core of the entire declaration. For the first time in the history of the Church, we have a doctrinal text with an explicitly theological basis that illustrates the Jewish roots of Christianity in a well-founded biblical manner. At the same time, Nostra Aetate takes a firm stand against all forms of anti-Semitism. Thus, in its following chapter, Nostra Aetate teaches that we cannot truly call on God, the Father of all, if we refuse to treat in a brotherly or sisterly way any man or woman created in the image of God. Indeed, the Church rejects all forms of discrimination or harassment because of race, color, condition of life, or religion. This historic document, therefore, opened our eyes to a simple yet profound principle. Dialogue is not a tactic or a tool, but it's a way of life, a journey of the heart that transforms everyone involved, the one who listens and the one who speaks. What is more, we walk this journey not by abandoning our own faith, but by standing firmly within it. For authentic dialogue begins not in compromise, but in conviction, in the deep roots of our own belief that give us the strength to reach out to others in love. 60 years later, the message of Nostra Aetate remains as urgent as ever. During his apostolic journey to Singapore at an interfaith meeting, Pope Francis encouraged young people in the following words: God is for everyone, and therefore we are all God's children. This calls us to look beyond what separates us and to discover what unites us all. Yet today we find ourselves in a world where that vision is often obscured. We see walls rising again between nations, between religions, even between neighbors. The noise of conflict, the wounds of poverty, and the cry of the earth remind us how fragile our human family remains. Many have grown weary of promises. Many have forgotten how to hope. As religious leaders, guided by the wisdom of our respective traditions, we share a sacred responsibility to help our people to break free from the chains of prejudice, anger, and hatred, to help them rise above egoism and self-centeredness, to help them overcome the greed that destroys both the human spirit and the earth. In this way, we can lead our people to become prophets of our time, voices that denounce violence and injustice, heal division, and proclaim peace for all our brothers and sisters. This year, the Catholic Church celebrates the Jubilee of Hope. Both hope and pilgrimage are realities common to all our religious traditions. This is the journey that Nostra Aetate invites us to continue, to walk together in hope. Then, when we do so, something beautiful happens. Hearts open, bridges are built, and new paths appear where none seemed possible. This is not the work of one religion, one nation, or even one generation. It is a sacred task for all humanity to keep hope alive, to keep dialogue alive, and to keep love alive in the heart of the world. My dear brothers and sisters, at this crucial moment in history, we are entrusted with a great mission to reawaken in all men and women their sense of humanity and of the sacred. This, my friends, is precisely why we have come together in this place, bearing the great responsibility as religious leaders to bring hope to a humanity that is often tempted by despair. Let us remember that prayer has the power to transform our hearts, our words, our actions, and our world. It renews us from within, rekindling in us the spirit of hope and love. Here I recall the words of St. John Paul II, spoken in Assisi in 1986. If the world is going to continue, and men and women are to survive in it, the world cannot do without prayer. And so now I invite each one of you to pause for a moment in silent prayer. May peace come down upon us and fill our hearts.
And at the conclusion of the silent prayer, our Holy Father, Pope Leo XIV, has gone over to the children's choir that you just heard. They are gathering there for a photo opportunity and to get a chance to meet His Holiness. That is the Dolce Note, the Sweet Note Choir that sang the Magnificat and a few other pieces immediately before the Pope's arrival. And the words of our Holy Father, his reflection on Nostra Aetate and its challenge for us today, along with the silent prayer at the conclusion of the Pope's address, mark the end of the formal program for this evening's 60th anniversary celebration of Nostra Aetate, the Council's declaration on interreligious dialogue. We now have our Holy Father, Pope Francis, meeting with some of the religious leaders who are present for the event, and taking the opportunity to visit with the various representatives of different religions. As we noted earlier, there are a lot of different religious groups represented at this evening's event. Notably, representatives of Judaism, Islam, of Baha'i, of Hinduism, Jainism, Sikhism, Zoroastrianism, Buddhism, Taoism, Confucianism, representatives of the Women Network, and of course a number of leaders from the Church who are involved in interreligious dialogue on behalf of the Catholic Church. Also, a large number of, a small number, excuse me, of witness testimonies and the cultural performances that animated this event and illustrated the principles of Nostra Aetate. And as the choir sings the very famous We Are the World pop song, we are going to bring our live commentary for the Walking Together in Hope event to an end. We've been celebrating 60 years of the Second Vatican Council's Declaration on Interreligious Dialogue, Nostra Aetate. On behalf of Vatican Radio, I would like to thank our partner stations who help make these live broadcasts available throughout the world, especially EWTN TV, Catholic Faith TV, Catholic Faith Network in America, Salt and Light TV, Shalom World TV, Atma Darshan TV, and Catholic TV. For full coverage of Pope Leo's address during this event, along with other Vatican and world news, we do invite you to visit our Vatican News website at www.vaticannews.va, as well as our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube accounts. And before we conclude, I would like to thank our producers and technicians here in the studio who are responsible for keeping all the technological side of things working smoothly. Thanks to all of you for joining us this evening. My name is Christopher Wells. It's been a great pleasure providing the English language commentary for today's broadcast. We conclude as always, praised be Jesus Christ. Laudetur Jesus Christus.
harmony interreligious and world peace.
Santidad. Vengo de la tierra del Papa Francisco de Argentina. Vengo quiero que sepan sus hermanas, amigos y bienes espirituales. Gracias por sus palabras.
Thank you.